That's because it's National Inventors Day, where creativity and ingenuity are the focus. This morning, we're so happy to talk about a school that has an entire space dedicated to inventing. Happy to have maker experts Diana Matthews and Lisa Morgan from Detroit Country Day School here with us. Thanks for coming in, ladies.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you.
So tell us what a maker expert is and a maker space. You have one at the school. What is it all about?
We do. Makerspace means that it involves tinkering, innovative thinking, designing, and we encourage our children to do that on many different levels, as you can see here. We have a space that's called La Ruche, and La Ruche means hive in French, which is a center for busy activity.
Oh, that's perfect. Now, how did this all get started? How long has this been around at the school?
We started our makerspace in 2016-17 when we transformed a classroom into our La Ruche. And it's important to give students that opportunity to be innovative and creative.
Yeah.
At Country Day, we strive to have a well-rounded liberal arts education, which includes creativity. And students are empowered in that classroom to have complete ownership of their inventions and their designs.
And speaking of their inventions, you brought some of the things that they've been working on. Show us what you have here.
Well, part of making is project-based. So one of our teachers decided, what could you or how would you design something for the Olympics? Okay. So over here we have the Olympic downhill skiing that the children designed. We've got the Olympic torch that they designed and some medals. And we also have figure skating. So the children came up with these ideas on their own. They decided how they would create them and why, and then what they would use in their creations.
Wonderful. And what about over here?
Over here, this is just a representation of what we might have in a classroom that goes along with some of their themes. So on the end, they're learning about states, and you can see that he's starting to build a flag. And then next we have some of our younger students. This would be what a pre-K4 child designed. And that's his design for a biplane, and then he made it. This is a car, and then we've got somebody that used our sewing machine and created a pillow. Over here we have a little snow scoop, and then these are castles that would go with, perhaps if you're reading a unit or you're doing something about Castle in the Attic, that's what this would relate to.
Oh, that's wonderful. And what kind of reactions do you get from the kids, you know, as they're going through the process and seeing it through? I bet it must be fun.
It is so exciting.
It is exciting. The students love going into the room and creating, but Diane and I, we're delighted when we see a child creating and then stopping and saying, this isn't working, I need to redesign.
Yeah, and what else do you think this fosters in them? Not just, you know, making something, but what else does this help them do?
Well, certainly with these projects, they're going to research what a castle looks like. They've got ownership of the project. They've got tremendous resources available to them, but now we've made the learning meaningful.
Yeah.
Now we've really set it in that this is what a castle looks like, and it's going to have a stable outside, and it's going to have a drawbridge, and perhaps even a jail. So they have ownership. They have taken responsibility for their learning.
And what would you advise perhaps parents to do to kind of encourage this kind of work?
We want parents to understand that children need to be problem solvers. So by giving them these opportunities, they're allowing their child to have their own ideas and their own creations and coming up with it on their own. They're not just following along the steps of some kit.
Yeah.
So parents should be comfortable in letting their children tinker around in their home and then have a space provided with some of the recycled materials that they could use.
Yeah, it's perfect, and you never know what they will come up with. Ladies, thank you so much for coming in, for all that you're doing in our community.
Thank you so much.
Let's send it over to Amira and Hallie, and maybe the kids can come up with something that can help us with all this snow.
Yeah, absolutely. We are